Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. What we're going to do today is we're going to get this bought for parts barn find from northern New Jersey, Honda TRX250 running and moving. And to do that, there's a few things we need to do. First of all, we need to get more than one lug on each back wheel. Secondly, one of the back tires kind of flat, so we got to smash something on there. I got the carburetor on here. I got the throttle rigged up real nice. The valves are tight though, and I've been asked questions about how do I adjust the valves and so forth, so I'm going to spend a couple of minutes on that. And lastly, I keep mentioning that this thing has a brother. Here's the brother to it. The pair of these were $300 once again. I think I picked them up, I think it's a couple of years ago now. So, given that all the flea markets are closed, I now have time to go through the hoard and actually work on some of this junk. So let's get started. Let's start with a quick valve adjustment. This is the intake valve. You can tell it's the carburetor side. And if I go to move this, you could see it moves just a tiny little bit. To me, I consider that too tight, and you guys could say, well, you know, that's really probably good. That might be true, but I like them so that I can feel a little bit of movement. Now what you do is you just spin out the center a little bit, and just so that you could, I personally, like that's too loose now, so I'm just going to tighten it up a little more. And then you just hold the center, tighten down the retaining, and I could feel just a little bit of up and down movement. The intake matters, but remember, you got cold air and fuel going by, which tends to cool things. The exhaust matters even more, because you have basically fire, hot air going out the exhaust. So you really want to make sure that's loose. And in the case of this one, it's really, I feel like no up and down movement, just a little side to side. It's really too tight for me, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to loosen the retaining nut and back it off a bit. If your valves are just a touch tight, the intake, you'll find some coughing out the exhaust. The exhaust, if it's too tight, you know, and quite honestly, you can burn them. Really, you got to worry about burning them. So, to me, I'd rather run them a little bit too loose. If they're way too tight, the engine just won't start. You'll be trying to kick it over, and you'll start losing compression. Once again, it'll kick back. It'll blow out the carburetor. It won't start. It'll just be cranky. Swapping the bad tire off, actually pretty easy, given there's only one bolt here. A lot of times, if you let these tires sit flat, unfortunately, they crack. So that doesn't look half bad. You know what? I'll give it a shot at trying to put a little air into it again. If it's just a bead that's bad, I'll pop it off. If not, I'll get one of the tires down low in the driveway from the spare. I'm not thinking Fix-A-Flat's going to fix this. I shouldn't be putting my fingers in there. There's probably bees living in there. So, once again, top dead center, loosen the retaining, spin out the center if you want them to loosen up. And that's a lot better. You could also take a quick look in there. See, the engine's very clean. The cam looks good. No scratches on it. I'm happy. This looks like it's going to be a real good engine. Okay, it's idling away, smoking a little bit, but this is probably the longest it's been running, right? These are all the great surprises you get to find out once. I'm just turning the idle down a little. Maybe a touch more. are all the surprises you get to figure out once you get them running, right? How bad do they smoke? And there you go. There. That might settle down in a minute of riding. By the way, this thing wants an electric starter. It's not the easiest thing to start. So let's see how it rides. Once again, this is the first ride, so you're taking it with me. Front end is a mess, literally. Oh, hard to turn, very hard to turn right. Oh, I fit to the front. Let's get it in the front pasture and see what it feels like. That popping out the exhaust, not a big surprise. So we're in first. Second. A lot of people skip first gear on these things. Third. One doesn't want to lead this into the turn. Between that front end and those mismatched back tires, oh, it is one bad handling machine. So let's stop that for now. Back to second. One has a tendency to sit high on this thing. Well, forget the tendency. You don't have too much choice but to sit high. Oh man, that front tire is horrible. Yeah. I showed you guys that the bearings look like heck. I gotta do some maintenance on this trail. I showed you that front wheel bearing looked bad. Well, it's about bad enough where I think it wants to fall off. I had a very odd situation happen to me. I'm probably going to do a separate video on it. But I saw some indications of internet security concerns, as in my physical location, which would really surprise me that somebody would have enough nerve. You know, I'm kind of back here all by myself, right? My driveway's over 400 foot long. Anyway, that somebody would have the gall to pick my network to mess with. But I saw some indications of that. And once again, I'll make another video on it. I'm just talking about it because I am thinking about it. One of the other reasons why I think it's not a bad idea. Make sure I run the perimeters on the property and then some. Boy, this thing really does handle like a truck. So, what do I have invested in this thing? This was a half a $300 deal. So there's $150 invested in this. And it looks like for the $150, I get a rock solid engine, and it seems that the rear Wow, that really cups under. When I brought it into the turn, it feels like the front wheel is tucking under and it wants to roll. So anyway, oh boy, it is. Let's try counterclockwise. Look at it rub that front tire. Anyway, so for 150 bucks, I got a rear axle. Nothing spectacular from a tire point of view. Most of these tires appear to be junk. And I got the engine. This one came without any CDIs. The wiring harness is there, but it looks like a train wreck. So I think I did okay. I mean, I know right now I don't need an engine. I have quite a few of these floating around. But if I needed one, I know I'd spend 150 bucks on it in a lickety-split second. So, I think I did okay. The two of these also came with some plastics, seats, some other stuff. The other one was the better one of the two. And we'll dig that one out. We'll see what the story is on it. You know what? When I park this thing, we'll take a look at the oil consumption. But as I've been riding it around, I don't seem to be finding a vapor trail behind me, so that's a good sign. Yeah, dirt needs to be cleaned up. Used to be, when I was a kid, I would hire out to do yard cleanups, you know. Oops. By the way, reverse works. Oh, let me show you the smoke, or lack thereof. Looking good. No smoke. I don't know. It had to get the last word in. I think I'm relatively happy with it. I mean, the plastic is kind of trashy, but you know what? I think one of these go with it. So it does. Well, not this one probably, but I think I have front plastic for it and all. I don't know. I think it was worth the money. Well worth the money. What do you guys think? Let me know. Share your comments. I want to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Please remember, feet down, heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day while you can. If anything, this little plague has taught us, right? I used to take for granted that, you know, come April, that was the first Stormville. The first weekend of May was the second Stormville. The second weekend of May was the auction in Hudson, New York. At the end of April last year, I went to the car show in Rhinebeck. You know, at the car show in Rhinebeck, what did I bring home? Like, I brought home the Bayou, one or two of these. One or two of these, and a big red. I mean, I think I brought home plus a motorcycle. I think the car show in Rhinebeck, I brought home 5 projects. No car show in Rhinebeck. Big Zero coming up on the dashboard. I think the Carlisle show, I brought home 2 projects. Once again, Big Zero coming up on the dashboard for that show. So I do miss my flea markets. One has to get out there and have some fun. Get to these flea markets or car shows or go out to dinner. Do whatever you like to do while you can, because it's very easy to take for granted that you're going to be able to do it. Then you get one of these surprises and you can't. And by the way, one of these surprises as in whoever thought we were going to get this zombie apocalypse. It might also be that the restaurant you love closes, or the flea market you love closes, or that the people you want to go with are no longer available. So get out there and have your fun. Anyway, I really, really want to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Please remember, feet down, heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.